hardly see the captains at the toss. It was so gloomy, but the floodlights are on. Karen KC's got the new ball in his hand. And we're going to see movement right from the off. If you look on your screen right now.
And then against Scotland, they were in the right areas, and then they fought back into the game. That's good from Monik Patel. Just too straight from Cwcl. You're going to get on that big screen.
That's a good shot. He's kept it simple. He's taken a while to get in, Shaihan Jahangir. Understandable in these conditions. And now he gets his first boundary. Starts. Now they think this is out. And it's given. And Shaihan Jahangir cannot believe it.
Look at this. Oh, I think it's a really good decision. I think it's very good. And Gulshan Jha, well done to him to have the awareness to get down low. He's a tall man.
That's a poor delivery, and Jones will cash in on the width. Good shots, and well fielded by Ashken Jagay too. Now Jones starting to warm to the task. Not sure that's the right length, is it, from Gulshan Jha? Too full the previous ball, too short this time. Look at how helpful the conditions are. Do the basics right. Inside edge, and so nearly bowls him. It's going to be 3 consecutive boundaries, but this time the right line and length was found, and look at the problems that it caused. It's a really good shot. Worked into the leg side, 4 more. USA are getting on top here, getting on top in a big way. It was then Arif Sheikh. That's going to be 4. Might have been a fraction of a chance, but not really. Khan may still be injured, yes. This is tickled away. And tickled away for 4. The 50 comes up.
His butt is
lovely cover drive. Trademark Monik Patel. Just as I say that, he changes it up and drags it down and will be pulled away for 4.
Off bad line and lengths.
And again, a drag down, but it's hit straight to the man. Oh, you will not believe this.
To just guide it. He didn't really swing the hands. It was just kind of a short arm jab, and he just picked out the man. Again, nothing wrong with the shot that he played. Probably could have gone at it, but it comes from a place of just trying.
In England. This one's cut away. Wasn't a bad delivery, but Powell's going to have to do very well to cut this off, and he'll dive. Big shot. And Monik Patel says, well, this is only a part-timer bowling to me. I'm going to take him on and smash him all the way for 6.
First real overcast condition, so he said, you've just strayed a little bit down the leg side, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I think he's sensed the 2.
Either way, a Monik Patel fan with a Monik Patel jersey on, and she and the other Patel fans there are on their feet because it's 50 for America's captain again, coming from 61 balls. What a fine knock. And it's 3 back-to-back ODI.
On and
pick-up shot into the leg side, and that's going to get good reward. It'll get 4.
It's only a matter of time before he gets going. That's picked up, and picked up nicely from Mukamala. It's a shot of liking. Again, he just swivels and pivots so nicely onto the back foot. He's picked everything well out of the hands, and that's what's allowing him this shot. It's not even that short. He's just gotten deep in his crease, and he's in for him to bowl.
Hit towards long off. Gulshan Jha out there. Takes the catch. And that's why he's bowling from this end. A well-judged catch.
You could just see him getting a little impatient in the last couple of overs, and I'm not sure why he's played that shot. Fielder's in that position. He hasn't really tried to turn that one towards cover. Probably better off the
stance as well from Krishnamurthy. That is not a good delivery, and it's pumped away for 4. Over pitch. Misfield from Rohit Powell is going to cost 4.
We thought it'd be at this stage.
Picked up into the leg side and picked up, well, it may well be all the way. It's either going to be 1 bounce 4, which it is, and it's going to be 50 for Saiteja Mukamala. The youngster, 20 years of age, from Plainsboro, New Jersey. Powell saying, I need a wicket. And he's going to get it. What a catch from Dipendra Singh Airi. Bertel has this incredible record of getting wickets. He's not been at his best today. This is hammered. Look at the power. It's a real flighted leg break. And look at Dipendra Singh, quite brilliant. Makes it look easy. Tossed up and smashed away. It's a good stroke, 1 bounce 4. That's a very similar delivery to the one Krishnamurthy got out to. The difference.
Involved.
Dragged down, helped away, and will be 4. Even Lamachani.
The conditions are all for bowling.
Chance. Taken. It's Cwcl.
This is a brilliant piece of work out in the field. Again, he hasn't really gotten this at all. He's run all the way from the edge of the boundary rope, taking it very low, diving forward, and he's found a way to hold on.
Something like that. Peak restaurant. Dragged down, helped into the leg side. Irie is there, but can't cut it off. I think Rijan Dakal just got in his eye line a bit. A lot of the standard of bowling. As this is worked around the corner, the wrong line. 4 more, Harmeet Singh.
It's just a story of the Nepal bowler's day.
Slower ball. Shrivastava hits it to long on and holds out. Anil Shah takes the catch.
And right at the batters, he's jammed them for room. It's a good slower one that's just kind of come off the leg cutter almost. And Shrivastava knew it as soon as he hit it. He's just a run saved.
Big hit, and finally Harmeet Singh gets one out of the screws. And it might just be held up there in the crowd as well.
Looking to go over that region. And it's just come on to the bat nice. A little bit of pace on the ball, and again, he's got so much power.
Should be on strike for the final over. Gets it. Does he get enough of it? No, it's Dipendra Singh. How's he made that look so easy? Absolutely phenomenal judgment.
It's just so easy. Again, he's just stood on the rope as calm as he could. Right there, he's looked down. And now, simple. Hands up, sunglasses will fall off right there. He's come, look down, throw it up, and then the agility to use the 1 foot to keep himself away and made that ending look so effortless. He's lit up the fans, and that's why you put him in the team, because he does things like...
I don't think we've got across how good that was. As Harmeet Singh hits one over the head of Cwcl at long off. How's he got that there for 6? An outstanding shot.
Down, almost always angled down. And he's just sliced that one. He's got pace on for the first time, and he sat back on the lane.
He was dropped as well. It's going to be 50. 50 brought up with a boundary. Harmeet Singh is driving USA up north of that 275. What a knock it has been for Jah fighting back. And he's been dispatched down the ground. 6 more. Pace on has not been the way to go. I think that's what Sampal Kami said to him. You can see Scotland training in the background there. They need to look on for 87.
It's a brilliant shot here from Harmeet Singh, but again, it's the length that's the problem. It's right in the slot.
The final over. You can make that 22, I think, unless he's not got enough of it. He hasn't. He's holed out. It will make Jazz figures look a little better, but he's been very expensive. Ironically, it's Anil Shah who takes the catch, who did put him down off Sampal Kami. Jah has 3 wickets to his name, but he's gone for 87. Nepal having highlights, but ultimately USA have got the better of this first innings. Finally, Jah takes the pace off. It means that Harmeet Singh can't get it over the rope. And after a really entertaining first innings, where USA, for me, have been so good, Aman, really impressed by their efforts with the bat. It'll just pop in a moment that Harmeet Singh was caught by Anil Shah off the bowling of Gulshan Jah. Look at that. Down goes our cherry picker as well. That's just 1 over. And
But you're absolutely right, Lenny. Nepal will be very watchful of how this passage of play goes. They know if they don't give up wickets to both left arm spinners, and they can claw runs to their name, about 5 and over. None more than enough. That's easier said than done. Kenjige will attack the pads all day long. Close out over number 11. Just the 3 runs from Kenjige's first. 45 for 1.
would be Jesse Singh, but if he doesn't recover from that side strain, well, where are the other overs going to come from? They're going to be the ones that they'll target to get them more than a run of ball that they need, which the required run rate's now tipped over. Then if they can, even if they kept Harmeet Singh and Nosh Kenjige to their figures from the last game, which I think was what, none for 49 and one for 49, basically 4-5 and over. It's that, but they don't get the incisions. If Harmeet Singh doesn't get into the wickets and get into Nepal's middle order, then I think there could be a way home for Nepal. USA still favourites for me. No doubt. Runs on the board, wearing wicket. Nepal don't have a great history of chasing huge totals. There is just, particularly with the extra depth to Nepal's batting. Remember, Mala's in the team. They have the two left-handers, Gulshan Jah and Cwcl Mala, both of whom score quickly, and both of whom could be sent in to take on the left-arm spin. Maybe they can plot a path home for what would be a very famous victory.
Again, it's just about how they decide to attack the rest of the bowling lineup, where they look to find runs. They got to do this, take advantage of poor deliveries, and find a way to get those to the rope. Even the fumble will just keep it to 1 run. But if you get anything loose, you have to be able to take advantage of it. And I think that's what USA, to their credit, did very, very well. Yes, it wasn't the greatest bit of bowling from Nepal all throughout their innings, but anytime it was loose down the leg side, found 4 runs. When Lamashani dropped it short, apart from the one Aaron Jones wicket, everything went to the rope. They took advantage of the lackluster bowling. Nepal's got to do something similar and make USA pay for mistakes. Good delivery that from Cwcl. And you mentioned that their Volker's second spell, when he comes back into bowl, you reckon it's going to be all pace off. It's going to be cross seam and cutters, slower deliveries that were very hard to play later on. So even with the big hitting Cwcl Mala and Gulshan Jah, I don't reckon it's going to be a wicket where you can really score as fluently and as easy as you want towards the later stage with the slower balls. So it makes it even more important to score runs in this juncture.
Good diving stop. Aaron Jones is a good fielder. There's a key position there at extra cover. That's probably 4 runs saved.
Yeah, again, very similar to what we saw, say, from Deepinder Singh Airi in the first innings. There's a sweeper cover, but would have had to move a long way to his right. And they've since moved Aaron Jones from Cwcl's first over out of that fly slip position into a cover. Almost daring Anosah to try to play to third man with the ball being angled in. It's good attacking cricket.
End of the 12th over. 48 for 1.
Can you not hear?
Worked into the leg side, and that's going to be... Oh, it might be 4. Well, that's what the fans are indicating. And now Harmeet Singh is as well. He's trod on the rope. And that's really a free 2 runs for Nepal to bring the 50 up for Nepal.
We've talked about the running between the wickets, ever so important for Nepal, and this is another phase in the game where Nepal bests USA in the field. Nepal saves runs. USA, they can tend to shoot themselves in the foot. Not the first time we've seen 4 free runs. Think about 4, the wicket of Asif Sheikh, 4 runs off a misfield, and then Harmeet Singh here stepping on to the rope.
Power sweep from Bertel. Power sweep for 4. That's a really good shot. Kenjige's just looked a little lacking in bite through the air, isn't he? No rhythm yet for him. One of Bertel's favourite shots against the spinners. Runs away for 4.
Well, there's no real wind to aid with the drift and the dip. And just see Bertel this over alongside Onosala looking to be way more positive against Kinjige, and it's a good counterpunch. Yes, it's risky, but they've said to Nash, all right, we're looking to attack you. We're not going to let you sit there and bowl your 10 overs alongside Harmeet Singh. You're going to have to do something extra special to get us out. Close of the 13th over. 2 boundaries come from it. 9 runs from Kenjige. Second is 57 for 1.
Daniel Sa, sometimes when he's batting, just kind of gets in this mode, doesn't he? Either it's a defensive or a block, or it's a very big shot, isn't it? He kind of needs to find a middle gear between the two.
Yeah, I think there's room to be aggressive, but you also have to understand that not every ball you can put away to the boundary. That's actually what ended up being his undoing against the USA that first time. Got to his 50, really untroubled, and then just tried to hit every ball for 6. Came out against Scotland in a similar facet. You just do this. He's such a good timer of the ball. He's got a wide range of shots. He's just able to find a way to get 1 off every delivery. He'll get enough bad balls that he can put away. He's got too many good shots to where he's almost forcing, trying to hit the ball into particular areas when the ball's not there to be hit.
First chance of Nepal from the crowd. Must be funny for the America players to be here on home soil. Very much to feel like an away game for them. Outnumbered heavily by the Nepal fans. Probably, I don't know, what have we got, 800 in and around the ground, 700, something like that. And 80+% of them seem to be supporting Nepal anyway. Can go through these phases where wickets don't come, and USA just tend to go a bit quiet in the field generally. It's a fine shot. It's all the way for 6. Cwcl Bertel is just showing a few signs, isn't he, on this American leg of the North America tour, that he's coming back to his best with the bat. And that's a real dominant stroke over Van Schalkwyk, all the way 6 more.
It's quite sensational. Again, it's not a half volley. He's hit this on the up, having to do it from the crease with Jahangir up. He just used his hands perfectly. There's no real movement off the wicket for Van Schalkwyk. I know it's a touch early. You might be better off going to the slower balls now, those cutters now.
I can promise you when everyone arrived at the ground that I would include both teams in this morning. Toss was at 9:30 a.m. Felt like it was 9:30 p.m. Like it was the end of a very grey and dreary day. It was heavy, it's cloudy, and it was really dark. Then when the floodlights went on, almost kind of lit up, almost like it was into another day. But I can promise you, as we get to the end of the 14th with the score at 65 for 1, that everyone here, talking serious cricket experts, Dean Kosker, not saying he said anything to me, but county cricket for Northants, he will have known that on days like this back home in the county championship, well, if you get 200 with the bat, you're having an excellent day. I think anyone would have thought that it would have been 280 versus
Structuring their scoring options and doing it without giving up much risk.
now a fish outside the off stump. No slip in place, interestingly, despite there being some turn on offer. I think Nepal might have taken this position when they came out to chase. Cwcl looks pretty unthreatening. Netralkable really nicely for those first 4 overs. Got taken apart a bit in the 5th. Jesse Singh, he's picked up the 1 wicket to fall. We're not sure whether he's going to be able to return. So these 2 left-arm spinners, they hold the absolute key for USA to defend this total. This gets us to the end of the 16th over. Again, USA's over rate, really good. I think they've got right all through. Come on then, Aman. Time to nail your colours to the mast. Who's ahead? Who's going to win this game?
Well, this week, putting me on the spot here, Lane. I'm not. It could go either way. This game is perfectly poised up. You spoke about Nepal taking where they would be here in the 16th over. USA were 78 for 2 at this stage in their innings, so it's really dead even. You take the 1 wicket in hand, don't have 6 runs on the board, but I think the real keys are how positively they're playing Nash Kenjige would give Nepal good confidence headed in. They took Netravalkar on. They were able to find runs against him. Jesse Singh, you don't know if he's going to be 100% remaining through, so who else can bowl? Scoring against Nash Kenjige. If Harmeet Singh doesn't go with wickets, you really fancy your chance to chase this total down.
Kind of funny, 10 overs ago I'd have said that, well, Nepal are huge underdogs, but just a bit of a growing sense, as you'll always get when their partnership builds. Growing sense of belief in the chase, isn't there, for Nepal? You just sense Harmeet Singh is going to have a big say, don't you? He's that good, you almost think if Nepal play his 10 overs none for 30, that might not be a bad result. So there's no need to kind of worry about your scoring rate off him. And I say that because even though it's more than a runnable required, there should be, in theory, plenty of scoring opportunities off the other bowlers, particularly as the innings progresses. Get through Harmeet Singh. I think Nepal might win this game.
Especially with the way they're scoring off Nash Kenjige. If they were playing both Kenjige and Harmeet Singh this way, well, that's 20 overs where you're only scoring 60 runs. But because they've taken the attack to Nash, you really fancy your chances here. With Cwcl not looking as dangerous early, I think he'll get better as the game goes on with the slower ones. With Jesse Singh's health as a concern, really fancy your chances.
Well, now, it was Owen Morgan that first kind of played the reverse. This is a left-handed late cut. He's looked to reverse sweep it. He's realised he's not in position. And look at the skills for him to be able to play it like a left-hander. What a unique shot. Oh, very clever.
Kind of. It's hard to describe that, but I'm not sure again. Well, it looks good. It makes for good TV. I don't reckon you need that shot against Harmeet Singh. I think that's forcing the issue. You've only scored 2 runs. That's fine. Just push around. Just play conventional.
Nicely swept, but Manik Patel does well again. He's a good outfielder, isn't he, for a man who usually has the gloves on. Well, one more look at this. Owen Morgan, a commentary box, as I have throughout the series. It's been great to have you with me, Aman. Really enjoyed it. Good afternoon to you, firstly. Good afternoon to everyone watching, or good evening, or even good morning back in Nepal. We got another thriller in our hands. The last USA-Nepal game went all the way down to the penultimate ball. Shadli Cwcl hit a 6 to win it. It's destined to be another classic between these two sides. It almost always seemed to be hard to separate.
Yeah, good afternoon to you as well, Lenny. And it seems to be destined to be that way, especially with the fans starting to trickle in and they're getting worth the price of admission. That's to say the least. And again, the way these two teams have gone at it, they're evenly poised at this stage, which we didn't reckon would have been the case headed into that first strings, but Nepal has fought really well, especially with that early barrage from the USA. And taking notes from Scotland, weather the storm and your time will come.
And also, I don't think USA's fielding's let them down yet. Actually, it's been good. It's held up. One exception, Shrivastava in the second over. But do just have this habit, don't they, of going a little quiet in the field, and that can make it feel like, particularly when the Nepal fans are in on top of you, they're even further in front. Stay on. Shadi Van Schalkwyk just down below us. He's having a lot of fun with these fans, isn't he? Different kind of relationship to the one that Jesse Singh was having with them. A charismatic guy, and I think he loves playing in front of fans. We've seen him be really good since he's come over to America.
Yeah, incredibly personable. He wants to interact with every single person around him. He's always got something kind of... key figure in the States. He plays a lot of his cricket in Seattle, in the Seattle area, and he's a lot of his bowling likes up there. You see it with the ball in hand. It's been a story of Harmeet Singh's been effective and economical. You have the one wicket from Jesse Singh, but just feel that Nepal have gotten used to every bowler and been able to take them on.
I also see in that graphic, Madank Patel continues to only want to use 5 bowlers. Change in the field. Ukar Shrivastava taken out of long on and put into cover where he was so good in his first ODI. Part of the reason for that is Harmeet Singh wanted the taller man, Van Schalkwyk, at long on. All these little small, less than 1%ers can matter. Aaron Jones's position is an interesting one, isn't it? He's in at first slip, but it's very deep. And it's quite wide. Is the ball going to carry there?
I don't reckon it is. Harmeet Singh's not flying it through. It's not pace on. Yeah, they're playing with heavy hands, trying to push the ball, but I reckon he can afford to take one step forward. I like the width in which he's at, but just a touch too deep.
And Harmeet Singh strikes. Bertel loves that sweep shot. But if he misses on that line, the bowler is going to hit. And it's the off-stump rocked back. We said Nepal needed to keep Harmeet Singh out of the wickets. They haven't been able to do that. As Bertel falls for 29. It's a risky stroke, isn't it? And Harmeet Singh right on the money.
Remarkably, only his 8th ODI wicket. And this is 10th inning, but just take a look at the shot selection here. It's just a poor shot, you reckon. You don't need to try to force the sweep, force the scoring option to Harmeet Singh. We spoke about it. You have the time. Take him and just play him out. Score.
Too substantial outside of that one knock in the T20s. He's had very high career strike rates early in his career, and his game's just evolving a touch, you sense. Clearly a tactical choice here to get the left-hand, right-hand combination in, particularly with the left-arm spinners bowling.
Yeah, and you expect them to kind of bowl in tandem here with Nashkan Jagay at one end of the ground and Harmeet Singh from this end. So just to try to throw off line and length, and Kusharmala can take the attack on. But again, like you said, the way he's added to the game, just to be able to stick in, hold himself together, and then push ones and twos, I think will be very important, especially to Harmeet Singh. I think the tactical plan has been to take on Kenjige, but Singh you don't want to give away.
Right over from Harmeet Singh, including the big wicket, 19 bowled, 79 for 2.
new man with the ball. And we saw him with the bat a lot yesterday, or 2 days ago. But it's Cwcl who's going to come in and bowl his off spinners. And it's part of the reason why he's in the side. He hasn't bowled in international cricket yet, but he bowled very consistently as part of the USA Under-19 team. Took at wickets in the Under-19 World Cup. It's part of his game that he's continued to adapt and bring in. Be interesting starting off to the right-hander.
Yeah, just the second over we've seen from a sixth bowler or more on this entire homestand of 7 games that they've played. So shows that Monak Patel probably has reviewed the match the other day and thought that 6 overs of 7 from one end for Jesse Singh was far too much, and really kind of was a bit of a hospital pass for him. So if he can get in 3 or 4 cheap overs, let alone pick up a surprise wicket, it's a win-win. That's why you use a sixth bowler in ODI cricket. It's to give you that freedom and flexibility of bowling options towards the third and final power play. Bowled quite a bit, you were saying, down at the 19s World Cup.
Yeah, he did. And he bowled all the way in really the pathway events to get to that Under-19 World Cup as well in the games leading up to that. And he make that Under-19 team. He bowled in every single game. Really was thought of as an all-rounder in that team, and that's why he was able to slide in a bat at number 6. And in those 8 matches that he played, he bowled in 7 innings, took 6 wickets at an economy rate 3.07, so it wasn't 50 over cricket. But again, that's the best of the youth crop the USA had to offer. This is a skill set that he's continued to work on. And talking to him, it's something that he is very aware of that he has, and he's very aware that it just enhances him as a cricketer. He doesn't want to be a one-facet guy, so it's always good to just have that extra skill. You think about Rohit Bowdle, Dipender Singh Airi, just having those couple of extra skills and utilities that can be called upon. Even Cwcl, more known for what he does with the bat, but his left arm spin today, those 6 overs, very vital. Came down and were very economical to pick the bowlers today. And you can see nothing fancy from
that. Good glove work too from Jahangir. Patel's attempt to get the scoreboard going was to go to the sweep. Sa and Mala need to find a way prevent the number of dots that are being bowled all of a sudden, as they just stack up, and also find the occasional boundary. Right now there's no signs of either of those things happening.
And this is why giving your wicket to Harmeet Singh in the middle of his spell is such a big deal. Because you know things are going to be tight and consistent. The runs are going to be hard to come by. And now you're trying to get Cwcl into the game, trying to let him feel himself out, whilst the scoreboard pressure is starting to mount. That's why Cwcl Patel couldn't have afforded to play that sweep.
Stack up these dots. Well, we said Harmeet Singh would be a big factor. He's bowled 4 overs here. The best part of. He's got 1 for 4. It's a maiden. Nepal going nowhere. USA getting on top in this second session. 82 for 2.
Now it almost makes this over if Srivastava be one you have to score off of, or at least find a boundary or 2 just to ease some of that pressure. Get the single straight away, and the big thing is you just got to find a way to continue to rotate. And if you're not going to score off Harmeet Singh, which is fine, you're not going to be really able to. Don't give him the wickets, but be able to find runs elsewhere. You can't let Shrivastava go out and bowl an over worth 3 runs. It's just not a winning formula. Gotta be able to consistently do this, turn runs off every delivery, and slip in. Now it has to be the odd boundary pretty consistently. I also like the matchup of the left-hander. Cwcl, he's just got to stay patient. And that hard-hitting background can't affect him right now. Well bowled from Shrivastava. He's got a couple of different deliveries. Got a couple that'll come back in. The arm ball. He'll like the matchup again with the left-hander. Getting the ball to turn away, but then the odd one to slip back through. Good sharp stuff. Again, he's not trying to reinvent the wheel. I think that's the biggest thing from Shrivastava. He's just gone right outside the off stump and bowled every delivery there and dared Mala to go different.
How many times did we say it in the first innings? Do the basics right. It's today that it really, in the most helpful of conditions, it completely eluded Nepal's bowlers. The occasional exception, but probably 40 of the 50 overs delivered just didn't do even semblance of the basics right. That's why they're behind the 8 ball now. 7 runs required per over. Bit of innovation. There's 2 men there on the reverse sweep, so not sure a conventional sweep wouldn't have been a better option, hitting with the spin. 22 bowled, 85 for 2. Nepal in trouble. And they have to do something better here, don't they? Nepal, just to find a way into this contest. I don't mind Mala starting slowly because he's got such power. And I can tell you for a fact, I'm not in the team hotel on this trip, but in the last trip in Canada I was getting down to lift my paltry 5 kilogram weights and do a little run on the treadmill. Mala was pounding out big numbers. He himself and Karen KC, without, look at the size of Cwcl Mala. Monster. They're the 2 in the team that are probably stronger than anyone, and it's no surprise, alongside Dipender Singh Hari. Russell Warren shows why he used to be a keeper at Northants. Good hands. So they're the biggest 6 hitters. So I don't mind him, even if he just, let's say, gets to 10 off 20 or 10 off 25. He catches up so quickly. But it's about himself given a chance to do what he's been sent in to do, which is to take down the left-arm spinners. Now, long on is in place, but there's nobody in between. Long on and deep mid-wicket in the outside the circle. So there's a mid-wicket in the circle, but he's about 15 yards from the bat. You'd imagine that hitting with the spin, kind of either there or straight down the ground, where there's probably, 40 yards between long off and long on, but it might be 60 yards between mid-wicket and long on. That's got to be one of the real boundary options for Mala. And you'll have to take some risk. It's just a case of when you start to take that risk. I'm not suggesting now, maybe bat for 3 or 4 or 5 more overs, but then 1 boundary, 2 boundaries, 3 boundaries starts to change the game. It's about building that innings, a little bit like we said, Sandeep Lamachani earning his way into his spell. Cwcl Mala's got to earn his way into his innings by getting the pace of the wicket. Isn't a huge amount of turn. It's not sharp turn anyway, just a bit there for the spinners. Just got to pick the right length and go after. Might be Kenjige as opposed to Harmeet Singh when Kenjige comes back in. 23 bowled, another tight over from Harmeet Singh. 89 for 2.
And the next almost 20 deliveries has piled up 8 runs. He's got to shift into the next gear, and Jesse Singh's the bowler to do it against.
That's the 100 up. And I think when the fans see the big screen, they'll probably start to cheer. Look at that. Even converting some local fans, aren't they? She is Floyd. She is was the ground announcing here, doesn't she, for the MLC?
She did. She was also here for the World Cup, the MC for that. Yeah, she was all over.
Taken in by the Nepal fans a bit, enjoying the...
Well, she was surrounded by them when Nepal played here for sure. So I think she got her jersey and she converted into a Nepal fan. Why not? There's worse teams to be rooting for around the world.
Too right. Particularly, I suppose, if you think of all the Texas Nepali community, the number of them here. It's a shame. We want 6, I think it might be coming from the crowd, or either we want 6 or we want sing. Maybe a bit of both from the Nepal fans. Interesting to see Shrivastava taken off. Would you have kept him going?
I reckon you probably could have snuck one more in there, just because, again, the spin is working. These two haven't found any real rhythm. I just think you're just trying to keep Jesse Singh out of the death for as long a period of time as you can. You probably will have to bowl a little bit, but you don't want him bowling majority in that last 10 and headed into 26th over. I think one could also felt I'd probably sneak in an over of Jesse Singh if he's not feeling 100%. While these two are still low on rhythm, I can sneak him in now.
Great story, Anil Shah. First debuted in international cricket over 6 years ago. Played a couple of the games against Kenya as part of the old World Cricket League structure in February 2018. Then drifted miles out of contention after a handful of appearances, and really, I don't think many thought that he was going to get back and get another chance, but then a prolific domestic season this year has guided him back into national team colours, and he gets to another 50 since he's returned. That's now his 5th 50-plus score. It's his 4th ODI half-century to go alongside that 100. He's averaging just a tick over 30. Strike rate pretty good career-wise, over 90. Just 60 today. He'll need to improve that. But if he doubles that 50 up, man, Nepal might be in with a real chance.
Yeah, he's got to get that strike rate up, but he's got it. I think more importantly for Nepal, he sticks it, and I think he's understood that. It's why he's changed the gears in the last 21 deliveries. He's only scored the 10 runs, but more importantly, he's in the middle. And it's going to take double this to get Nepal over the line. They're going to have to find one bat to stick through with the power of Cwcl Mala, with Gulshan Jha. You have plenty of quick run scorers. You need one anchor, and I think Anil Shah is going to be that anchor.
Yeah, you don't need to catch up by hitting 6s from this ball, but if you can turn that 100 into, let's say 100 on out off 127, you scored a run of ball from here.
Yep.
That's a great knock. And actually, with all that Gulshan Jha to come up the order, Depender time bomb out there, pyrotechnics might be coming.
Yeah, it just felt like one of these two were going to have to go after him, whether it's going to be Shah or Mala. And Mala, again, has so much power. Gets the ball turning back into him. Nash has to be very careful with his lengths here. Don't want to be too wide or too straight.
You can see there, he's basically just bowled that into the surface as quick as he could. He doesn't want to toss it up. He knows if he tosses it up, most likely the end result is the Chinese lantern display at the racecourse end of the ground is having some damage done to it. It shows the amount of scouting these days that's done on players. Years gone by, to walk to the crease, he'd have got 3 floated up to start with, he'd have hit 3 6s. Now they know about his power. Too sure about this field. Man for the right-hander. Just gives a single into the leg side, really, doesn't it? But look at Mala, almost flexing his bicep, saying, Nosh, I'm coming after you.
And you just expect it to be short and quick, dart it in. So Mala might just try to get creative, whether that is to move a little bit away from his stumps, give himself room to play over cover on the offside, or shuffle all the way across, looking to almost pull.
Again, Kenjige goes into the surface. He's not going to get much full, is he, Mala? Because they know what he's trying to do. He's got to start. I've heard him speak about how he feels like he needs to count to 10 or 15 in his innings. Just in terms of the number of balls just to get in. Anil Shah goes for the slog sweep, doesn't get it. Jesse Singh nestles underneath it and holds on. Big moment in the game. Anil Shah gets to 50, gives it away. Credit to Kenjige, absolutely, but it's a tame dismissal. And just as Nepal trying to get moving, trying to go through the gears, they lose their third.
Well, you knew one of the two of them, Mala or Shah, were going to take on Kenjige. You just didn't think the matchup was for Shah to do it. He had to be the anchor. And he's just hit it straight up into the air, trying to play that sweep that was working so successfully off the bat of Kushal Bertel earlier in the innings. Again, he's just miscued it straight up. Jesse Singh's done really well to get into a good position, take the catch, much to the delight of the American fan right behind him, who's up straight away. Got to 50, but just threw it away. 52 off 80, and that strike right now looks a bit worse because he wasn't able to cash in on all the work he was able to do. Again, he was 40 off 56. It took him 21 deliveries to score the next 10 runs, and then he threw it away 2 runs later.
Rohit Paudel to the crease, captain of Nepal. He's the man with the highest score of this cycle. For Nepal, that was the 96 in a losing effort. Against USA, that was in the first innings. Going to be very different in the chase. But he may well need the America fans, the flags flying high now. Very different to score 90 like that in a chase. If he does, if he's there with 90 not out in the last over, you'd think it would be in a winning effort. He's a fine player, maybe Nepal's best player. Now, this is probably the most packed part of the crowd.
Got right in front of the players' tunnel as well.
What's in there? The big gulps.
They stopped off by the gas station.
Your soda of choice?
Don't drink soda, Lenny.
What?
I don't drink soda. So it's actually a funny story. I was 7 years old when someone told me caffeine stunts growth.
Say that once more?
I was 7 years old. Someone told me caffeine stunts growth, and I decided.
What height are you?
Now, 6'1", so it's worked a little bit.
You taller than me. I don't think you are.
I don't
very
think
similar.
I am. Very similar.
I'm 6'1.5 inches, so
I think somewhere there.
You're in the mix. Well, it hasn't stunted your growth. Jesse Singh to continue. Nepal in trouble again. They're going to need something special from their middle order. Specifically these two, and maybe then Jan, Dipendra Singh Ari to come in. Remember Arif Sheikh, of course, the player of the match from the last game. He's still due to come. So whoever told you that is really, well, he's saved your dentist a lot of money.
Yeah, hasn't he? Yeah, I got rid of the caffeine and the sugar, so it's worked out. It's worked out quite nice. It doesn't take a bit of guessing though to pick your favorite soda out of the bunch. I think there's one in the fridge next door, isn't there?
Oh, it's got my name on it. And it's one of the title ICC sponsors, so I can say it, Cwcl. Definitely one of my vices in life. We all have some. Do adore a Coke. And certainly, the more I get to know about you, I know I've known you a long time, you are so clean. You must have some shortcomings or some shortfalls.
I'm sure
you're
there
too
is.
Perfect.
I'm sure if you ask my parents, there's something in there as well.
you must never tidy your room, or you must never do the
To be
dishes.
fair, my room is a little bit of a mess. That is fair. That is fair.
Well, my mother, I know I shared this with you. I didn't share it on air, but my mother wants to adopt you from listening in. She's been watching on back home. Parents always watch all the coverage back in Ireland, particularly the Nepal games. Adopted another 2 Nepal fans. A little bit like she is Floyd. We saw her earlier. There is the new USA cricket CEO. That's Mr. Jonathan Atkinson there. Atkinson on the left. Not sure who he's with. He'll have been probably a little bit nervous having lost the toss this morning. I think he flew in early today. and probably pretty pleased with his team's efforts at the moment. There he is, just seeing himself on the big screen. A big good afternoon to you, sir. Wishing you every success in your new role. As USA Cricket look to capitalise upon the success of that World Cup. Both national teams, well, really up until this tour, were going really well, weren't they? The women's team, historic wins down in Zimbabwe. Know that filled the community with great joy the first ever time they've beaten full member nation. Historic series win over Bangladesh for the men, 4-0 over Canada, the Super 8 run in the World Cup, all the brilliance of that Namibia tour. It just feels as though it's obviously Stuart Law's been dismissed in this time. He's moved on now. In the middle of the series, the 3-0 defeat in the T20s, and then just the one win in the ODIs. It feels like for all of those reasons, this game's it's as important for USA as it is for Nepal.
It's a momentum thing. You don't want to head into 2025 having all those kind of negatives around the sweep in the T20 series, and then only pick up one win
on home soil.
That's going to be the part that's really going to stick home. So a second win on home soil just gives you that little bit of momentum, that you breathe a little bit, saying, okay, things are all right. It's not great, but we can build into the right steps.
And then I suppose from I know he's only interim head coach for the moment.
Vincent Vinay Kumar.
Yeah, Vincent Vinay Kumar, the former Ranji Trophy player from India. And then we see the assistant coach come in, Usman Rafiq, who was playing down in Zimbabwe.
Jesse Singh's the man you have to attack. You can't let him go quietly.
Particularly with that side strain he has. Get after him. Too many dots. The angle causing problems for Mala. Big shout out to Phil Melky, who's watching on. As always, one of the USA super fans. When I described Texas as big sky country, I didn't mean literally. I know that's the official motto of the US state of Montana. And I know you're only pulling my leg. The thing I didn't know is that the official state motto of Texas is friendship.
It is friendship, yeah. That is something we learned in AP US history class.
Didn't know that. I like that.
Quite simple.
It would describe the state pretty well from all the interactions I've had since I've been here.
Been very friendly everywhere we go.
Everywhere. No matter which side of the ever-growing political divide as we sit on the precipice of, maybe the most important American election in the history of the country in, 4 days time on Tuesday. But yeah, wherever you sit, red or blue, I think Joe Biden has been using it the most, but whoever said it first, there are no red states, there are no blue states, we are the United States of America. That's certainly very apt here with all the hospitality and friendliness we have been shown. So friendship is the motto of the state of Texas. There's great friendship between these two sides, but there's also great will to win. Nepal in big trouble. They're going to take on a single that would have seen Cwcl Mala run out by a mile. It was panic, really, wasn't it? The pressure had been built up by the dots. Patel did the fielding. He did it well with one hand, but the throw was well wide of the 1.5 stumps he had taken at.
Cwcl Mala had to look back at Rohit Paudel, but Rohit did the right thing. He was telling him no, and Cwcl Mala was just adamant straight away. And even if he was to go full head of steam, he was never making it over there. Anand Patel misses out. And it's just pressure building up onto Cwcl Mala. It's getting into his head. He's looking to find runs, and he's not able to play his normal, natural, free-flowing game.
And they've bowled well to him. They've taken it out of his hitting arc. He hits full deliveries and he murders them, but he isn't able right now to find a way against anything back of a length or on a good length. It's piling the pressure onto Rohit Paudel, who's yet to get off the mark as well. Credit to Jesse Singh. Remember, he was flayed around the ground for a really expensive spell. He's battling through the pain barrier. You've got to respect what he's doing here. No doubt about that. And I think Anand Patel's trying to just get through his overs whilst the going is good. Could Patel have maybe picked that up and John T. Rhodes it Supermaned onto the stumps?
I reckon a fully healthy Jesse Singh might have been able to get over there.
Anand Patel, though, could he
Anand
not have got the dive in? Too far away, maybe.
I reckon he's just trying to get there so quickly. I think because he saw Mala take off straight away, he's gone for the throw. I think had he seen him pull up, he might have just opted to try to get there directly. Would have been close either. Would have probably been gone in either front.
Heidel will get off the mark with a very well judged single. There's so much work to be due.
Still, it's a very good decision on first glance, and Cwcl, he takes the reward of that pressure.
Russell Warren really is given nothing unless he's been absolutely certain. And finger went up quickly too. Get another look at it here. Probably actually hit the back shoulder as much as anything, isn't it? But question's going to be on height here, isn't it? It's impacted in line, certainly. I know he's a long way down, but it's a strange one. You can be, if you're wondering about the law, you can be leg before wicket off any part of your body, barring the gloves and the wristband of those gloves, and the bat, of course. So the glove is the only part of your body you can't be LBW off. You could even, in theory, be hitting the helmet in front of the stumps if you ducked into a slower ball or something. Arif Sheikh, it's going to be in at number 6, the Iceman. He's got an awful lot on his plate this time. He played so positively the other day. He gets off the mark immediately. Finger went up straight away, didn't it? And I think we'll see it again after this delivery. I agree with you in terms of the line. The question will just have been on the bounce. Now, we don't have a side on camera, so that's not going to necessarily be able to be demonstrated very well, but it has probably hit him up on the kind of back shoulder, has it? Going up. We'll get another look now. Mala does get a single down the ground. He's not tall either. That's the other thing you have to remember, Rod Powell. What's this? High 50s, early 60s, who's saying, we've got to start getting moving here. I'm full of confidence, and I'll get off to my first boundary, the maximum.
And again, it's good intent. Use of the feet. It's what he did against Scotland to get player of the match.
He's the first batter we've seen to use his feet to the spinners. There is zero risk to this shot because it's an off spinner. He's not really turning it much. Bowling the ball into you, or there's zero risk in terms of using your feet. Of course, he's got to get enough elevation if you're going to take the aerial route over mid-wicket. He's probably actually trying to go a bit straighter. He's dragged it a bit, but he still has enough muscle to get it over the rope. Defensive shot from Mala. Do you not think Mala should go at him here? Say, I'll go inside out over extra. I'll make it 2 boundaries in the over. Get rid of Shrivastava from the attack. That ball will be signalled. Mala not ready. There might have been a word from Jahangir. He apologises.
Mala's got to pick it up here. Again, whether that's to go over cow corner, where there's a long on, if you can get it away from him, you got 4. But even that's full. That's full enough for him to be able to slog sweep. He plays that shot so beautifully. You go over extra cover, but he's just instead played 1. Guess you get 9 because of the shake 6, but you could have had.
You bowled. It's very nearly the perfect score for a cricket commentator. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Just missing the 5th wicket. One we always look out for the commentary box here, so you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as you're calling the over. Cwcl will continue. He's into his 8th. Well, you do wonder when Mala is going to start going at Cwcl. It's been a very subdued innings. Every shot is a check down shot, isn't it? Not one of any aggression or intent. That's Mala saying, I know we can get 10 and over off the last 15, the last 14. Yeah, we're perplexed. They're behind by 44 on Cwcl Stern. looking in all sorts of trouble. Arif Sheikh might just be the man to start to get things moving. He's going at everything. You can see it's very different. I know he's only been in there 7 balls.
Yeah, and again, it's about the intent that you're seeing on display. Sheikh is trying to push 4 runs. While we've seen from Cwcl, he's willing to just let the game go by.
Well, that's a great shot. He's not going to get 4, but could be. It's a mix-up. It's a real mix-up. Mala's going to have to go back here. And he does get back. Oh, dear. Well, that kind of shows the headspace that Cwcl in. Complete miscommunication. Arif Sheikh was a bit slow to turn. There probably was 2 if they both went immediately. They almost ended up at the same end.
There's probably 2 on offer if you're off quick, because of the fact that Cwcl had to move well out to his left. You see that par score there, 169. They're well below that. Cwcl on strike now. The keys are, again, what is your intent to score? You can score 10 and over from the last show. We've seen Scotland do it, but it was a different surface. The surface is now 3 innings older. I don't know. I don't think it's going to hold up in that same facet where the slower balls are going to come on to the bat nicely.
Finally, a bit of aggression from Mala. It's a dot, but at least he's trying to give it his all, and it's taken 45 balls for some real intent from Mala. Yeah, I agree that the surface is going to die in the last period of this game. Fans are just trying to rouse Nepal, aren't they? Giving them a big cheer. Put down. It's almost as though Kenjige didn't see it. Mala, 2 balls in a row. They run a quick single, throw well wide stumps, and all of a sudden, just from a couple of bits of intent, there's a bit of pressure back on USA. Just a 2 and a 1. Nothing that's really changing the game. USA still miles ahead of it, but getting the fans into it. Mala, you feel like someone needs to shake him and get him into action. Say, we know how good you are. Come on. It's time for you to show it.
Look at the fans there. Look at the little fan in attendance. He's not facing it right now. He's too nervous to watch. But that's what Arif Sheikh does. Again, he came in against the Scotland game, scored a half century through intent, got the game back, and you could see just found a little bit of rhythm, put pressure back on Scotland. He seems to be doing something similar to the USA. How can Mala capitalize? The fans are behind him. Arif Sheikh is behind him. He just has to get some runs behind him.
No timing, but he's trying to get there. I think Van Schalkwijk's going to be clever here, isn't he? He's going to mix up. That was an on-pace delivery, but he'll bowl plenty of cutters now. And what we saw in the last 10, you take away that final over where it was Harmeet Singh that gave that real boost to USA. Between the 40th and the 49th, they only put on 64. It's not easy in the last 10 because the wicket is wearing. Might think of 2 here. They should get it pretty easily. Perfectly weighted. So, if you try to work backwards here, Aman, you say, we're going to struggle to get 100 off the last 10. Well, they've got to go now, don't they?
You have to. If you're going to struggle at 100 off the last 10, you need 154. It'll touch under 154 now, but a long ways to go in this chase, and it's only going to get tougher because Netravalkar is going to come in and bowl cutters. Same with Van Schalkwyk.
Finally, it's the free flow of the arms that Nepal fans know and love. It's vintage Cwcl Mala. I don't want to say back to his best because he hasn't even shown a semblance of that in this innings. He's been given a life, but the USA come to rue it. It's a good piece of clever targeted cricket. Mid-off up in the circle, over his head, 6 all the way.
This is the width he's been given. Van Schalkwyk looks to go strike bowler in Netravalkar. And I think what Monik Patel has just gone over to say to Sarab is, you don't really need to go full outside the off stump towards the wide line. I think what's the better option is to play on the length. You can see the running here for Asif Sheikh. He wanted 2 straight away. I think Netravalkar's better off on a length, bowling the cutters, slowing it down. Hook picked up, pulled away, and that's the biggest of the day. Where has this come from? Arif Sheikh, he hit a 50 in the match against Scotland, and he's picked up where he's left off. That's brilliant. And I don't think there's much wrong there from Netravalkar. The Nepal fans love it. It's a cutter on a length. And Arif Sheikh has just sat in his crease, picked it up, and dispatched it for 6.
Well, what is this we're witnessing? Arif Sheikh 2.0, is it? Never really had the notoriety or ability to clear the ropes with real ease. He's been known as an accumulator. A guy who's very good in clutch, difficult situations. All of a sudden, this game has just changed again. What a shot. A mighty strike from Arif Sheikh. And he's gone. Fuller, and a great catch by Nosh Kenjige at backward point. It flew to him, it went so quickly. 6 and out for Arif Sheikh. His little cameo comes to an end.
You can't fault the intent, but how many times has Nosh Kenjige done this for the USA? Pulled together a pretty fantastic catch. Again, clever piece of bowling. He went slower, wider, and that was just flashed away. But Kenjige's gone upstairs. It's almost looked like what Garrett Wilson did on Thursday Night Football for the New York Jets. And it's always rising on him. He's done quite well to get upstairs. Very quick delivery, and look how much it means to him. You can see the big celebration come out. The USA knew this was the danger man. And 6 and out. Have Nepal let this game slip away yet again. 21 off 13. A nice little cameo. Now, have to find runs from somewhere else to Nepal.
Yeah, Arif Sheikh. Very short, but very sweet, wasn't it? 21 off 13. Here comes Dipender Singh Airi. Well, we were totally bemused by his lack of use with the ball. On a wearing wicket, 2 left-handers at the crease. He somehow only bowled 1 over in the whole innings. He'll come in, number 45 on his back. He'll need at least that many runs to give Nepal any chance here. Man, we've spoken a few times about the memes that go in and around the huge fanaticism that attracts this Nepal national team. Got the great nickname, the Cardiac Kids, which I think sums them up beautifully. And that meme with the graph of the "we are back" or "we are so back" at the very peaks of it to "we are gone" or "what's going on."
It's never been more over.
Never been more over at the bottom. Where are they on that graph? It seems to have been pulsating up and down again through this entire contest.
Well, really, through the last 2 balls, and the wicket in the 6th, there's never been more back, and now we're so gone. There's never been more over.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, isn't it? As again, it goes to the backward point fielder. Kenjige does well. Change of bowling from Manik Patel, getting Netravalkar back in. Former captain. As we so often see, a wicket just stems the runs. 3 dots. 15 remain, 146 for 5. Nepal are only just past the half. Cameo from Gulshan Jah to come. 146 for 5. And if you just look at the runworm here, it's starting to trend in the right direction, but they've got so much work to do still, Nepal.
Yeah, they do. Again, you just see that late flurry up towards that USA dark blue line, but big problem is the wickets that have fallen. USA lost wickets towards the tail end. They held wickets together in hand, similar to what Scotland did just 48 hours ago. All have lost wickets in consistent intervals leading into the last